Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content. So, a bit of a longer video here, but this is going to be the ultimate Phase 1 Gravity Crystal farm for Way of Winter. Now, you can apply my tips to the manibus version. We're using a gravity net generator, and we're using the gravity net neutralizer. Both of those are blueprints slash, I think it's blueprints, that you will actually have to unlock by just playing through StarFall Inversion and going through and collecting a couple chests. It might take you a couple Inversion runs to get these, but both of these are killer items. The neutralizer will actually let you levitate in the air, and since the airborne set is the set we're using, I highly recommend using this set. It increases your stamina and also gives you stamina back just for using the rings and the jump things. It's meant for doing StarFall Inversion. The other thing, I think I already showed my gloves there, was that we have the hide that's a Starfall hide on your gloves. Put Starfall hide on your gloves. You need to do this, or even use a drop glove if you have to. This will actually give you more gravity crystals. Now, the other thing is we're using 3 whims today. There's normally 4. Spring legs, utter delight, featherweight, and arrow leap. Arrow leap's key here. What we're using today is arrow leap, featherweight, and utter delight. I need to get spring legs done. I might even just go farm the thing up again. I really don't want to use T-points on a frog. But with that being said, before we actually get into combat, there's one last thing I'm actually going to recommend for you to take. Besides, of course, in my previous Way of Winter video, I recommended getting the Gasucho because there are the new dark type enemies, the shadow enemies that are just spread across the entirety of Way of Winter, which I do actually like. Make yourself some adrenaline shots. Grab yourself some of the Gasuchi items made from Gasuchi Deviation, because you're also going to need those, and make sure you have, I usually take 2 gravity neutralizers, but you need at least 1 to really get a good inversion. Now, the other thing I want to mention, this is a tip I'm going to go ahead and give you, is the unstable abrasives are actually what you really need to be collecting. We're starting in Wishland, and we're actually starting on this side, because if you start on this side, you can actually pretty much run through the entirety of Wishland all in one go, and you can hit every single enemy and everything and get a ton of gravity crystals. This is going to be 400 gravity crystals in a single inversion on tier 3 gear in phase 1 of Way of Winter. Now, with that being said, there are higher level areas we could go to, and we could possibly unlock a few more. Another thing I'm going to mention at the end is actually an interactive map that tells you where both the unstable abrasives spawn as well as the loot chest, because there's not that many chests, but there are over 234 unstable abrasives floating around in the sky throughout the map. If you can figure out the runs, you can actually get an absolute ton of gravity crystals. So I will be showing you that map at the end, but for a phase 1 guide here, this is the best run you can take. It's going to get you the abrasives, it's going to get you as many of the loot crates as you can, and for the phase 1, you're really going to want to be hitting those loot crates. That's why we're taking this. As you can see, there's that crate just there on top of the castle, along with a boss of some sort, and then on the crab here, there's usually a couple of the Starfall enemies here for dropping some more gravity crystals. Then we also collect the loot crate. Once again, if you don't have the gravity neutralizer or the gravity, I think it's absorber or net absorber, gravity net absorber, something like that, regardless the net thing, that one, let me go ahead and explain that one to you. So I want to go ahead and explain how that one works, because it's not an instant 50% more yield. You have to be in the air for at least 10 seconds before collecting your gravity crystals, or they will not be 50% more. So 50% more sounds like a double, but it might just be a 25% increase because of how percents work. I don't know, 100% there. But regardless, it is an extra amount, and it is something that's definitely going to help you get more gravity crystals. And like I said, once phase 2 does unlock, there are some really good high-end area level areas where you can run a loot crate run, also get a bunch of abrasives, run through a way to the next point of interest and get 20 more abrasives, and go on and go on. The way I'm showing you today is a decent mods farm, and it's also primarily for the gravity crystals. And once again, this is the phase 1 farm that I recommend. As you can see here, we have gotten to this point here from just looping through those rings right behind the crab there. And as you can see, actually floating here on this tower is our 3rd chest. This is a 4 chest area. Like I said, we're after the formulas here today. That's what I'm trying to show you. I have these 2 specific formulas. There are other formulas for both the foods that you're going to really want. The Starry Bubbly Tea, for instance, while it does take some investment into getting the items available to craft, is an absolute phenomenal item. In phase 2, I will be covering all the phase 2 items that you want to both get unlocked formula-wise and everything else. And another reason why I'm showing you all the loot chests today, and just a lot of the really quick loot chest runs that you can do, is because I'm trying to get you guys the formulas that you're wanting, whether you're wanting the anti-gravity foundation so you can build a floating base, which, by the way, yeah, it takes a lot of gravity crystals. That's kind of why I'm making a guide on mainly the gravity crystal farming, but also the mods. We're heading to Mouseville now, though. I try and stay on my bike the entirety of Mouseville, but at this little cookie house looking thing, it's a pink house with a cookie on top, there's actually an unstable abrasive here, and then there's also 2 enemies that always spawn here. More gravity crystals here, and we can hang out in the air for quite a bit of time and get double yield there. I don't think we were in the air for 10 seconds, actually. Now, we just land on the edge of that house and then zip over to this roof, and there's actually a loot crate right here and some enemies. I think usually there's a Luminera actually hanging out here, but for some whatever reason, I don't seem to be facing a Luminera today, unless maybe we just killed it real quickly. Regardless, these enemies can also drop Chaosium Hearts on the Way of Winter version. So if you're looking for a Chaosium Heart farm, you might as well also be farming Inversion to get both the new Inversion items so that you can actually be using these builds, because even just running Point of Interest during Inversion is an absolute blast, guys. If you're not actually out trying to farm gravity crystals, you don't have to use Inversion to do the Inversion task. It's the entire environmental change that makes it such a fun way to play. You gotta try Way of Winter with this. It's amazing on Way of Winter. But as you can see here, from that building, you just make your way over to this, it's like Moose, it's called. It has like almost an ice cream cone looking thing on top of it, I guess. I'm not really 100% sure if it's like a castle with ice cream scooped on top. I guess everything's supposed to be made of candy in Mouseville, or maybe ice cream. Maybe it's an ice cream land. I think that's what it's supposed to be, because there's an ice cream factory nearby. But speaking of which, we are going to head that spot, but that's not going to be our very next spot, because there's actually a very specific spot I like to start at when I go to unlock the teleport tower for that spot. That's another tip I'm going to give you. Like I said, right on top of this ice cream cone, though, there is a loot crate, and there's a Luminera and a couple other enemies here. Once again, even more gravity crystals. We're at 144. When we started this, we only had 50 gravity crystals, guys. So we are making good headway through here. Only 7 minutes into the video. I really like this run. We're actually going to go ahead and switch over to the heat set. That's another thing you're going to have to do, is have a cold and heat set for Way of Winter, because we're actually going to go do Ashington runs right now. So we're headed to Oblivion, and then we are going to go ahead and take ourselves all the way out to here. So you could hop in your car, or you can make yourselves to this little elevator thing here, and then there's this ring path actually, and this ring path literally will take you all the way into Ashington. Not quite sure which one is the faster way. Obviously, this is pretty quick. I have taken motorcycle here before, and it is a pretty quick run. Here's a really quick way of just running through the chest here. So that's our main goal here on this higher level area, is mainly get any chest that we can, and if there are unstable abrasives here, grab them. But being that this is a phase 1 guide, this also might even just be a skip. I will go ahead and mention to you that Frost Forge does have one single loot crate, but there are also a ton of unstable abrasives on the way down to Frost Forge that you can collect, including one right above the Chaos Weaver they're building there, that is all just super easy grab unstable abrasives. There's a good amount of unstable abrasives floating above the buildings and stuff, and on your way down that cliff area as you're diving down there. It's absolutely amazing, honestly. Frost Forge is not a bad area for abrasives. But as you can see here, we collected that first one from the top of that courthouse there, and then we're jettisoning across directly to the destroyed houses, because there's actually another ring path here that you can take, and if you hit it right, and you don't fail like I did, if you hit the ring path right, you can actually use it to get all the way to the roof really quickly, and then hover directly above there and just nuke the Luminera hanging up there. Now, I'd like to say that we had a great run here. We went in here and we just nuked this lady first shot, and she did not take us down and take like 5 to 10 minutes of our runaway here. So we could have probably gotten more like 500 or 600 here easy, but this was at least, I think I went through like 5 adrenaline shots, honestly, trying to kill this lady. I mean, it was a good amount. It was at least 3 or 4. And I hate the Lumineras on StarFall Inversion, guys, because they just teleport 1,000,001 times, especially when you're trying to use a Frost Vortex build where you just gotta shadow the Frost crystals that spawn, and when she teleports so far away. most of the time the crystals either take forever to hit her or don't hit her at all. But as you can see, we actually did get this looted. Now, directly in front of us in the courtyard looking area with like the maze going on, there's another unstable abrasive. This one's red. I haven't actually looked into the rarities thing, but usually the gold ones and it honestly seems random to me because I've gotten gold out of the black ones, but the gold ones and the red ones seem more likely to give the gold box, and the red ones might be a guaranteed rarity. I'm not 100% sure though, because I think I've collected a red one before and gotten just the crappiest mod box of the sorts that you can get. And once again, the mods aren't too big a deal to farm. They are good mod parts, and they are good conversion material if you're looking for that. Aside from that, it's only 2 slots that they do fill, and if you have good mods already that are already really good tier, it'll be very hard to actually get inversion mods that are actually going to be better than the current mods you have, even at maximum boost. So why not just use a constant mod that you can also use on the ground? That's the other thing about my build. If you haven't seen my anti-gravity build, actually, you really need to go check it out. Now, I will say you can run through Ashington. There is a decent amount of unstable abrasives. Like I said, I'm going to show you an interactive map at the end of the video that has both the loot crates and all 200 and whatever it is unstable abrasives that are in the Way of Winter version alone, guys. There's a ton of unstable abrasives. That's really the key thing you need to take away from this video is the loot crates are great for formulas, and if you're looking for more of a phase 2 plus tip, because phase 2 is coming for my server in like 10 hours, then I will go ahead and suggest the unstable abrasives. You need to find an unstable abrasive path you can follow every single inversion and just loop through it, loop through it, loop through it. Fly through a bunch of unstable abrasives. You'll be in the air for 10 seconds. You'll get that double of the gravity crystals and everything and get an absolutely ton of them. But this here is another really high level area. So this is Fireforge. I do believe it's the top area. You can actually go to this teleport tower. There are 2 loot crates up here. So there's one directly up here with these enemies I'm shooting at just now. I just showed you how I got there. And then there's one in the center building in the back. It's like on the roof. I think it wasn't actually all the way up to the very top, or maybe it was on the very top. One of the 2, but there's also a loot crate over there. The thing is, this is a very hot environment, and right now we just have our heat armor on. We don't even have a codium made or anything, and in phase 2 we'll actually have a very good cooking item that we can make that's actually going to help us out a lot with the temperature. Super duper easy, no problem, super soon. So as you can see here, I really like to show you the combat because this is literally tier 3 and like some tier 4 calibration 1 gear right now, and some of it's tier 3 calibration 0 even, and none of it's 6-star or anything. This is just the pure power of the Silent Anabas's anti-gravity build. I'm literally like level 37, 38 now. We have been leveling up doing StarFall Inversion. I've been trying to get gravity crystals farmed for my anti-gravity base, guys, and it's 16 player plots. If you didn't hear, I'm a 16-man, 1-man hive now. I've lost my mind. But as you can see here, now that we've actually looted this crate, we could have went to the back and got that other crate, but if you don't want to do that, just run back out to the front. And here's the nice thing about the new melee dive, guys. Look at this. When you melee dive off this cliff, you remember jumping off this cliff and like gliding down to the bottom, and it'd take you like 2 minutes to get down. No more, aside from when the game randomly freezes you in midair. But don't worry, you can fall for like quite a while and then do it again. And look at this. Now we actually missed this right here and go boom. We are in the building now, just like that. How amazing is that, guys? Any of you who played the previous version of WoW, who is just now checking out the StarFall Inversion and the new update, that's what I love about this. Also, once again, Endless Dream is getting StarFall Inversion in July, guys. So we got some more stuff to look forward to. We will be checking that out in July. That should be, I'm thinking it's actually going to be an official release in July. It might even get its official release and should be a lot less buggy, or at least maybe like a test version 2 or something that's promising bugs fixed. But regardless, now that we've jumped down here, there's actually an unstable abrasive in the center here. I do believe there's 1 or 2 loot crates down here. We did die because of the temperature here. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get out of there. We're going to throw our cold gear back on. I'm going to show you some more level areas. Like I said, Frostforge has 1. It's like right by that center boss guy that you can dive off of the Chaos Weaver's head to actually get to. It's once again, it's in the center. There's a roof just above that guy. That's where that loot crate is. But we're actually going to be heading to this teleport tower right here. So we're going to actually head to the Ocean View teleport tower or the Chaosing Hub. That's another thing I want to mention when you're going through trying to get your teleport towers unlocked in the Way of Winter version. There are now the Chaosium hubs that allow you to teleport to them at any time, even if no one's even discovered them yet. They're just instant available public teleport towers for everyone to use. I'm telling you, this Way of Winter version with StarFall Inversion is an absolute blast. And once again, even if you're not into the anti-gravity building, the new ammo can be very, very fun for this event, and the new mods can be usable, and they are conversion materials. Also, some of the formulas are nice, and if you want that collection item like I do, also I think there's some skins in it, you might want to get this stuff. But like I said, we're heading to that teleport tower. Now, the reason why we took that teleport tower, Ocean View teleport tower route that we are taking here is actually because the entire pathway from that Ocean View teleport tower to the teleport tower for Mouseville factory has unstable abrasives littered through it. There's literally one right here, and then right after this, we're going to collect this one, literally arrow leap forward, and boom, there's a gold unstable abrasive, or a black unstable abrasive right here. Two right back to back. And you see there's more platforms of jumping platforms over there. There's probably more unstable abrasives down this path. As a matter of fact, there's one just before the teleport tower. So once again, we're going to speed this up a little bit and get to the teleport tower. But as you can see here, there's actually a golden unstable abrasive right by the bridge here. Technically, you could just jump off the bridge, collect it, and get back on the road and keep driving. But I prefer to take the skydiving method anyway. We now have this teleport tower permanently unlocked, so next time we actually go to run Mouseville Factory, we can just go to the teleport tower. But it doesn't seem like a bad unstable abrasive run. Now, once again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you an interactive map that shows all the unstable abrasive, at least the supposed locations for all the unstable abrasive, which, you know, it's kind of hard to get that exact on your map, so it might take you a second to find them, but if you know the route, you can learn where a lot of these unstable abrasives are going to be, and in Phase 2, you're going to be able to farm so many more gravity crystals and so many more mods so much faster. We will be getting a Phase 2 guide for farming gravity crystals out, but once again, if you want the early tip, there's the early tip. So, as you can see here, Mouseville Factory, another great low-level area to go. Now, this one's actually one of those areas I was talking about that has a lot of unstable abrasives in the area. There's also a handful of enemies here to kill that are going to be dropping more gravity crystals. As you can see here, I absolutely love playing the anti-gravity builds, guys. You have to have the gravity neutralizer, and you will have to activate it in your bag when you start your inversion so that it's actually running. But once it's actually running, if you hold spacebar or aim down your sights, you hover in midair, it's absolutely a blast for the silent anabasses. And I tried a Brahmini build on it on my perma server, guys, and let's just say I can clear a Rakazam Pro with it. I can clear there was another Pro monolith I cleared with it. Anyway, it's an absolute blast, guys, I gotta tell you. And you can even do it 1 HP with that thing. I mean, that Brahmini is so good. It's such a nice build. But as you can see here, Mouseville Factory, another loot crate right here. There are 2 loot crates in here to begin with. Once again, I want to make sure y'all get your formulas farmed up in Phase 1, at least the core ones. There's really 2 you need, the gravity net and the gravity neutralizer. You also want the food items, especially for higher level areas, the starry tea, I think it is, the starry bubbly tea. That is such an important one if you're going to be running a low HP anti-gravity build, which I highly suggest to do. It's an absolute blast, but you need the starry bubbly tea. The crafting process of it's actually kind of a pain, so opening some of these loot crates, this is how you can actually get the starry bubbly tea to just drop naturally. But I highly suggest if you do get the starry bubbly tea to go ahead and just hang on to it. Don't use it in Phase 1. Put it in your fridge and wait for Phase 2 to actually use it when you have Tier 5 gear, and you can go to the higher level areas and go wipe the bosses there, go collect more unstable abrasives, and yeah. So I will go ahead and show you just the final end process of this run. I do believe we went to like 1 more point of interest after this. As you can see, we were just still collecting unstable abrasives there. There's a ton of unstable abrasives in the field just outside of the Mouseville Factory. We got 1 place down. We got 400 gravity crystals in this farm run, and as you can see here, this is the process on the base, guys. We are technically 2 character plots into it, and we've gotten all the deviations placed we can for those 2 character plots for Phase 1 alone. We're gonna have to go through and upgrade every single alt to, you know, do all that. But with that, I am done talking about my base and the gravity crystals we have farmed. I just want to go ahead and show you the interactive map, so I'll see you in just a second. Alrighty guys, so this is actually the interactive map I like to use. Now it is a Chinese map, but you can Google Translate it. Some stuff still doesn't translate over, but as you can see, it actually maps out all of the unstable aggregates. Now, I'm saying you might want to wait for phase 2 because you'll have all others too, and you'll be able to go to all these high level areas. But as you can see here, if you actually start here, do the 2 chests here, I think it's 2, no it's just 1. So as you can see here, there's only 1 Starfall crate here, but there are 3 unstable aggregates here. And then you can get out to here, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see all of these right here. There's just a big old loop of them right here, and it's right by the fire throw base teleport tower. As you can see, you can teleport here, run through, and just loop collect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these super duper easy. You can keep running into here. You can go ahead and collect the 2 Starfall crates here, and there's an aggregate right here. I showed you collecting that one. That one's guaranteed there. But as you can see here, this map is absolutely amazing, and it shows it for the entire map. So even if you want to try and do unstable aggregate farming in phase 1, here's a great area. So if you go to the Pipe Island teleport tower, there's one just right here, and there's a ton of them all over this place here. As you can see, there's just a ton of these unstable aggregates, and this is really how you're gonna farm a lot of the gravity crystals. But like I said, I wanted to make sure you get your formulas farmed up first. I wanted to show you all of the loot spots, but I also wanted to show you this map, and I'm gonna show you the address right here, and I'm also gonna link it below. This is the interactive map. They get it updated day 1. Literally day 1 Starfall Inversion came out. This map had Manibus and Way of Winter already mapped out, and will definitely have Endless Streams mapped out. I'm hoping Endless Streams gets more Starfall Inversion crates or something like that, but we will see when Endless Stream does go Inversion. But for now, I am out of here. Go ahead and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and keep it beast mode.